afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until roughly 5 o'clock. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get involved, become a part of the show. Man, it's been a long everything. It's been a long week. Last week was a long week. It's only Monday. It's already been a long week. I'm like super, super tired. And then, of course, just my regular difficult day. Difficult. I don't know how difficult it is, but just my regular day. Let's see. Good afternoon, Tina. Good afternoon, Anthony. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Good afternoon, Broken Wing. Oh, boys. And look, I want to apologize already, right out the gate. I want to apologize for, what was it, Thursday and Friday that I didn't make it in? But I had a fairly decent size order that I had to get out. And I had some challenges. So, y'all know how that go. Something got to give, and in this case, it was this. But I got everything out, and that's cool. I also have an order this week, but the challenges that I had were taken care of, so that shouldn't affect anything here. Let's see. I said Broken Wing. We got McConnell in the house. None of y'all saying where y'all from. Now, come on, y'all know. I need to know where you from. Sabrina in the house from Kentucky. Pamela says good afternoon. Checking in from North Avondale. Oh, you rich. Broken Wings. No apologies. Get that money. Lewis said he checking in at the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. Do you work at Chick-fil-A? Is that where you work? I thought you worked at like a Church's Chicken. Patricia Rogers, good afternoon. Let's see. Tria says, hey, Tria, I'm still mad at you. In case you didn't know, I'm still mad at you because every time I hear that commercial, even just thinking about it, it makes me laugh. So I'm still mad at you. Let's see. We got McConnell from Middletown. All right. Let's see. Shaba in the house. Patricia from Westwood, Tria, Columbia Township, Broken Wing, Wyoming. Anthony says Clifton. Tell me keep up. I'm not gonna remember where everybody from. Y'all gotta remind me every day. Let's see. Got a couple of things going on that I wanted to kind of explore just a little bit. And I gotta start with, and I'm telling y'all for real, I'm not even trying to follow this. I'm not trying to follow it. I haven't been on social media since, what was that, Wednesday? I didn't, not at all this weekend. Of course, not Thursday, not Friday, except to say that I wouldn't be here. I haven't been on social media, but I'm trying to not follow this Kanye West thing. I'm trying to not follow it, but then he keep doing stuff. And how do I? Janice says, you're here. Yes, I'm here, Janice. Look, y'all need to hold on, before I do that, let me look at something. Okay, I'm functioning on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. Something is wrong with my Twitter. So I got to work on getting the live broadcast up on Twitter and back up on Instagram. So I got to work on that. Let's see. Now the little baby, she says she did not want to do the show today, so she stayed upstairs with Mrs. Livingston, which is going to irritate Mrs. Livingston because she trying to relax and, she had a full day as well. And so she up there, she trying to relax and rest. And y'all don't want to see, when she be down here, she be quiet. But y'all done seen a little clip of her here and there. She's really fun. She's really fun, and she talks really, really loud. So, yeah. Wow. So Mrs. Livingston gonna be irritated with me. Like, why did you leave her up here? You saw me trying to take a nap. Um, but I've been trying to not follow this Kanye thing. And but again, I don't think Kanye crazy. I don't think Kanye is stupid. But he got some issues. He's got some issues. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. He picking with the family of George Floyd, the mother of George Floyd's daughter, I guess, because they're suing him. And he says, or at least she's saying she's suing him. And he's saying like, hey, look, I gave you $2 million straight cash, which is an interesting thing. He say he gave her $2 million. He say he gave her $2 million out of his pocket. That's a decent amount of money. $2 million is a decent amount of money. But I told y'all it's gonna come around. He did and said all of this kind of anti-black stuff for a long time, and now he's sorry. I didn't really mean to say that. My words hurt some people. What exactly did he say? I don't know, where is it? Where is it? His words hurt some people, he said. Where is it? Where is it? I promise you, I just had it up. I just had it up on the screen. Oh, by the way, one day this week, I'll be able to and I'll have everything set up where when I'm reading something, you don't have to take my word for it. You'll see it on the screen. You'll see me and my little scrolling and all of that good stuff. But and it now is, I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feelings by saying all of the crazy stuff that I said about black people even. Basically the system is racist. They coming against me. And now I know what it feel like to have a knee on my neck. And that is so upsetting and insulting. It's so upsetting and insulting. But people still like Team Kanye. Here was the issue that I have. And it really is look, some of the stuff that Kanye West said has some validity to it. Okay? Some, or at least some of the points that he was trying to make have some validity to them. And I guess I understand that, but that doesn't, and the fact that he's being canceled, I'll use that term. The fact that he's being canceled because he said something about Jewish people, that's problematic. That's problematic. But he been against black interests for a minute. He said a lot of wild stuff about slavery being a choice and just a lot of other things. He hugged all up with Donald Trump. I guess that's not anti-black, but I feel like it is. He did the White Lives Matter. And it's not just that. George Floyd, fentanyl, all of that kind of stuff. And can he come back here now and be black? Can he come back to us now and be black? Like, I really think that he thought, it's all blow over. It's all blow over. Some people, when everything happened, because he could have just came out and said, I'm sorry, I apologize, but he didn't. But he thought, I'm rich, I'm famous, this is all gonna blow over. No biggie. But it's not. And he's still being dropped by people who I didn't even know he was associated with. I didn't know Frigidaire dropped him. Like Frigidaire is no longer associated with Kanye West. I made that up. But if they could, they would. Like people dropping him the Wild Wild West, they said we are no longer associating with Kanye West. The West Coast, we are no longer. Like he is being dropped by everybody. And he thought, and it's going to blow over and I'm going to go back to making that money. And it didn't. And it didn't. And now he like, ooh, I'm kind of out here. And he apologized to Jewish people, which of course we knew he would do. We knew he would do it. He apologized to the Jewish community, but it might be a little bit too little, too late for them. They not feeling him. And now he know what it feel like to have a knee on his neck. He know what it feel like to have a knee on his neck. And I'm asking the question, honest question, and I would really love to hear from you. 717-5464. We are a forgiving people. We are a forgiving people. Can we forgive Kanye West? Not those of y'all who like, it was a plan. Not those of y'all who like, oh, he free now. He can do whatever he want to do. Not y'all. Because y'all never, some of y'all just, he is celebrities, so y'all some celebrity whores. And so celebrities can do no wrong. I'm not talking to y'all. I know he was right all along. He is right. And that's that. Not y'all. Those of us who looked at some of the stuff that he did and some of the stuff that he said, and we're like, this guy been anti-us. And I feel like now he want us to rally around him. I heard somebody say, and hold on, let me look this up. Because I heard somebody say, I don't even want to say it until I look it up. Oh, let's see. I see that as a headline, but I don't know it to be a story. I'm hearing that Kanye West is endorsing Herschel Walker. That's what I'm hearing. And is that true? First, is that true? And second, come on. Can we forgive Kanye West as a community? In terms of what he's done, I don't know him personally. But can we forgive him as a community? Raven says she thinks it's problematic to call his blackness into question because let's be real, everybody and their mama stumbling over themselves to denounce him, and it has everything to do with him being black. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that it has everything to do with him being black. I think it has something to do with him being black. But I feel like, at least right now as I'm saying this, my mind might change in a minute. But I feel like you can't use this is being done to me because I'm black when you're anti-black. You had on White Lives Matter shirts to take a shot at people who feel like people discriminate against people based on the color of their skin. Their lives matter less. So you can't be the dude who like White Lives Matter and at the same time like, well, but they doing this to me because I'm black. I don't know that both can exist in the same space. So I understand that, but a part of me feel like when he did the slavery was a choice and the White Lives Matter and all of that nonsense, he kind of gave up, if you want to call it that way. I always hate it when people say that, but he gave up his race card. He turned it in. That's what I feel like. Cleopatra Jones says, I forgive him. All right. All right. Lewis says, wait a minute, Lewis. Lewis says some nonsense. Absolutely we can. We forgave white people for slavery. Who forgave white people for slavery? I was never a slave, and I'm still mad at white people for slavery. Who forgave white people for slavery? Ron is back. Ron says, because you didn't respect his opinion and you didn't agree with him, then he's not pro-black. It's not because I didn't respect his opinion or I didn't agree with him. It's because his opinion is pro-black. I mean, it's anti-black. His opinion is against blacks. That's why he's not pro-black. Because his opinions. Jason says, doesn't matter what you do or say. In America, you're black. And that's what your black ass is going to be. And I'm not saying he not black. He's black. I'm just saying if I said he's not black, I misspoke. Because I'm not saying he's not black. He's definitely black. But he don't apparently see himself as black, except for when it's to his benefit to be black. He not black until he needs to be black. And when he don't need to be black, he's kind of anti-black. Let's see. Did you sit with him and actually get his opinions, or is that your opinion of what he said? He wrote it out. He tweeted. Those are his tweets. It don't compare to what you talking about. Ron's talking about the fact that he reads these really out there sites and stuff and forms his opinion based on. He actually posted some website, I guess in China, that was written in all Chinese, but it had one section English kind of a headline of sorts that said something kind of to sum everything up, but everything else was Chinese. And I'm like, bro, you don't even know what they saying. You can't give me that as some factual news source when you don't even know what it's saying. You don't read Chinese. Ninja, you don't read Chinese. You have no idea what they said. Look at this site. I don't know what they saying on that site. I don't know where that came from. What does it say? You don't know, because you ain't Chinese. Come on. This is totally different. These are his tweets. These are his words. Shaba says, I'm not siding with Kanye, but we all know who fronting these new rappers the cash to make the music they making. Okay. Okay. Jason says, it's Mandarin, not Chinese. Okay. If you say it's Mandarin, I don't know. I don't speak Mandarin or Chinese. I can't read it. But I'm not I can't be whole on Kanye's team. I don't think he's making some brilliant business move. And I feel like he's using black tragedy. That's not the word I'm looking for. Y'all know how we feel when we watch the George Floyd video. When we watch, those of us who sat and watched a man die, watched the whole, however long it was, what was it, 8 minutes or whatever. The video was like 8 minutes long, even though they say it was like 9 minutes that he actually had his knee on his neck. Trauma, thank you, Sharon. It's like he's using black trauma to get out of trouble. And I don't like that. That bothers me. That bothers me. That makes me, like I said, I wasn't following it at all. I wasn't following it at all. And I was keep seeing stuff. But when I saw how he feels like, his term wasn't a high-tech lynching, but it was really in that vein. And now he knows what it feels like to have somebody's knee on his neck. That bothered me. Ron says he got to go. All right. Peace, Dinga. But that's that. What else is out there? What else is out there that's going on? Because I know it seemed like everybody is fixated on the Kanye thing. Today is Halloween. I don't know, do you celebrate Halloween? This is a whole different conversation. A whole different conversation, and nobody else may want to jump into this, and I'll only be on this for a minute. Raven, I'm going to get to that too. Shahira says, did I see your Kanye comment? I did not. I did not see it. Repost it for me. I'm looking. I'll see it this time. I kind of celebrate Halloween. And I mean, even as a Christian, I hear a lot about how Halloween is evil and bad. But I kind of celebrate Halloween still. Like, not tonight. I don't give out candy because kids don't come on the street and trick or treat. I don't know why. We left the light on a few years and like no kids came. I think nobody else on the street gives out candy, so kids don't come up the street. So I don't give out candy. But I heard somebody saying like, hey, even if, you know what I'm saying, you dressing up for Halloween, like not as a demon or a ghost or anything like that, as something holy, it's still Halloween, and Halloween is still kind of evil. I don't know. I mean, as a little kid, I didn't look at it as that. It was just a day to go get some candy. It was just a day to go get some candy. Is anybody on the Halloween is evil thing? Raven says, how do you feel about the delay with student loan relief? Raven, I'm kind of like you. I'm going to believe it when I see it. Now, I just ran across a story. The Biden administration, they're relaxing rules for student debt forgiveness. The Biden administration is moving forward with an overhaul of several student debt forgiveness programs, aiming to make it easier for borrowers to get relief if they're duped by their colleges or if they put in a decade of work as a public servant. And it's a pretty long article that I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, but I'm not sure what that's about. But I don't like the fact that, yeah, there are people who are challenging it. It's gotten postponed. I still don't see the issue with forgiving some debt. We all know they forgave those PPP loans, millions of dollars in loans. They just forgave. And Republicans and Democrats and non-politicals and all that stuff, everybody who had it and who could take advantage of it had it and took advantage of it. I don't know what's wrong with doing the same for other people. And it's not, I guess, because this ain't for rich people. What if you like make less than $75,000 or something like that? Now, if they said we're going to forgive student loans to people who make over $150,000 a year, you would not hear these same people complaining about it. You just wouldn't hear it. Oh, Shahira wrote me a book on Kanye. Hold on, let's check it out. I actually love Kanye, but I'm absolutely not team Kanye and so disgusted with him right now. For him to come back and be black would take a lot of work on his part, and that wouldn't happen overnight. It takes serious work. Let me get off of there because I got to finish reading. And therapy on his part to be back in my good graces. But I understand he has deep mental issues that he's had for a long time. Somebody just help me understand, because I'm not a mental health professional. What is the mental issue that make you anti-black? Especially as a black person. What is the anti-black mental issue? I know what Roseanne said, she took some Ambien. I guess that made her racist. But what is the okay, he has some mental issues. That's been said. I believe it. But does that make you have to be anti-black? I don't know that you can blame his mental issues for a lot of the things that he's doing and saying. Let's see. Ben says Pelosi gay a husband y'all won't talk about because it's a white man. Why do you say he's gay? Firstly, why do you say he's gay? Secondly, why would I care if Pelosi's husband is gay? I don't talk about Lindsey Graham. But, of course, why do you say he's gay? So he's gay because somebody beat him up with a hammer? Which is the weirdest thing in the world. Breaking into people's house, beating them up with hammers. I don't understand. Y'all people are going off the deep end. And I really think people are pushing people off the deep end. Because you have to realize, that's why people do things like what? The View dress somebody up as the Oscar slap. and had to say, well, we're not encouraging violence. But you have to know we're in a society now where there are some, I'm going to call them weak-minded. There's some weak-minded people who are very open to suggestions. Again, my terminology is not correct, but they're very prone to the power of suggestion. So if you're even doing things that kind of look like it could be promoting violence, to somebody, you're promoting violence. And so, yeah, all of these people, Nancy Pelosi is this, and Nancy Pelosi is evil, and Nancy Pelosi is that, somebody gonna be like, let's get Nancy Pelosi. They gotta know that. They not stupid. They gotta know that. So there's people pushing these people off the deep end. Ben wants to know which hammer was he holding. Tell the truth. I wasn't there. I assume he was holding the one that he was bashing him with in the head. But what do you think you know? Come on, be a grown man. Be a grown man. At least I'm assuming you a man. Be a grown man and say what you want, but say what you're trying to say. Be a grown man and say what you're trying to say. Ain't nobody got time for all of this beating around the bush and all that nonsense. Say what you're trying to say. Myosha, where is it? I saw Myosha hates when people it went away. All right, I'm sorry, Myosha, but she don't like when people say Halloween is evil. TC says, check out Skin Bone Halloween video on YouTube. All right. And now it won't put it up. There it is. I hate when people always try to make stuff out to be bad. For most people, Halloween is just a time to dress up and get candy. But there are people, if you get the history and the reason that things came. But I feel like, we flip things so much. What was bad is now good. What's good is now bad. So are the churches that did or will have their trunk or treat alternative to Halloween still participate in a demonic ceremony? Some people believe they are. Raven talking about the student says everybody deserves a bailout, besides the American people, apparently. Yeah, the money that they're sending overseas. I would just love it. Well, I don't know if I would love it, but it would be interesting if just for 1 year, the United States, no foreign aid. Sorry, we can't afford it. Just like you and me. Sometimes you have to say, I like Netflix, but no Netflix. I'm sorry, I just can't afford it right now. I like cable, but I can't afford it right now. I like, name whatever your thing is, I can't afford it right now. I pick it back up when I can afford it. So just no foreign aid, and then take that money and put it into the United States. That money, 1 year's worth of foreign aid, I had to look up the actual figure, but could probably pay off everybody's student debt. Just for 1 year. Like these other countries, they can't make it for a year. Let's see. I'm falling behind on my comments. Dante says there's always a lot of deaths surrounding Halloween. How so? What death surrounds Halloween? I'm not saying it's not true. I don't understand what you mean. What death? The president of Ukraine is the biggest little man pimp in the world. Will says, bro, we've been giving billions to Ukraine, though. Right. Hold on, let me look it up. How much foreign aid? Did the U.S. give in 2021? In 2021, the United States budgeted $38 billion for foreign aid spending. $38 billion for foreign aid spending. This is according to Concern Worldwide. Let's see, according to Forbes, nearly $300 billion in foreign aid spent by the U.S. government. This is between 2013 and 2018. The American taxpayer has been generous to foreign countries between the year 2013 and 2018. Nearly $300 billion in U.S. taxpayer money flowed as aid to countries outside the U.S. Each year, the U.S. spent about $47 billion. Just 1 year. 1 year. Say to those countries, hey, y'all, it's going to be about a year before, but we get y'all next year. We just can't afford it this year. That last number was according to Forbes. It's an article. This is actually from 2021. August 4th, 2021, Forbes new report, nearly $300 billion in foreign aid spent by U.S. government. Like I said, around average $47 billion a year. $47 billion a year. The amount of foreign aid would solve homelessness 10 times over. Yeah. Yeah. Ernest says $51.5 billion for the year 2020 in foreign aid, according to Google. But now, according to Forbes, you know what I'm saying? According to Forbes, half of the aid goes to Africa and the Middle East. Half of that aid went to Africa and the Middle East. So I guess the argument would be, okay, we could take a year off, but poverty and death and all of that stuff does not take a year off. Shira says, you keep missing my comments. It's a conspiracy. I don't see no comments from you. I don't know what you're doing. Brian says, foreign aid, how about 15% of the arms budget for a year? $801 billion a year. Shahira, back to Kanye. And I know you never listened to his latest album, but oh my God, it really is genius. I used to bump it nearly every day before all of this. Now it just don't feel right. But if you ever tried to listen, I'm pretty sure you like it. It's pretty much a gospel rap album, but not at the same time. All right. And again, I'm not a big hip hop fan at all. So, I've been trying to not follow it, but y'all won't let me not follow it. Y'all won't let me. Feet people defending Kanye. He's a genius. I'm not saying he's not. He might be a genius. But he don't sound like black people. Oh, that's not the comment I wanted you to read. Sorry. Um, Daryl says, good afternoon, dry snitcher. I wasn't snitching on you. I was trying to help you. You were trying to put out those little coded messages. And I'm telling you, Facebook will catch those foreign messages. Even when you spell stuff wrong, that computer know what you mean. That computer know what you mean. And they will get you. And there is no human that you deal with to appeal. When they put you in Facebook jail, you just in Facebook jail. And you sitting there like, who accused me? Like somebody complained, or even if nobody complained, like this violates our hate speech. You're like, no, that's not. He said, but you kept it going. I only kept it going because I apparently had to explain to you why I was doing it. And then Angela was sharing some stories about it. Myosha says, can we quit throwing that word genius around? Dude has some good beats, a decent producer, and okay rhymes. That does not make one a genius. Okay, let me look it up. Because I kind of feel like it could. The definition of a genius: exceptional intellectual or creative power or other natural ability. A person who is exceptionally intelligent or creative, either generally or in some particular respect. So, again, I don't follow hip hop. I don't follow hip hop like that. But if his ability is exceptional in terms of his creative ability in that whole hip hop genre, I think you could use genius. I think you could use genius. That's if. I don't know. I don't follow hip hop like that, like I said. So I don't know. Lewis or CK says, you are 50 plus years old and naturally disrespectful. What I do? And you wonder why the murder rate is so high in America. What did I do? What? What did I do? That's disrespectful. I missed it. What did I do? Somebody tell me what I did. I don't want to be naturally disrespectful. I don't know what I did. And I'm making the murder rate go up. What did I do? Oh, let's see. How was it so easy for Holocaust victims to get reparations, but so difficult for black folks? Because we black. That's the whole answer. Because we're black. Okay, I don't know who you're talking to. I want to let you know I see your comment. She says that's exactly it to a T, but to be going back and forth with George Floyd's family, I think she's still having the conversation with Raven. And she be writing like really long comments. They won't even all fit on the screen. Um, let's see. Ben want to know what time the Bengals play. All right. Kenny says naturally disrespectful. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm going to tell you what you did, Mr. Livingston. All right. You don't know how to have an opposite opinion without being disrespectful. Who was I disrespectful to? Who? Somebody tell me. Please. I'm sorry. I thought I heard the little baby coming down here. I think she's getting ready to leave. So I got to get my hug in. But who was I disrespectful to? Damn, he seems like everyone who interacts with you brings up murder. I don't know why people bring up murder. Oh, is it wrong that I'm dying at someone calling you naturally disrespectful? Yes, that's wrong. Don't laugh at nonsense like that. You feed that. You feed it. You're always naturally disrespecting some damn body. I don't know who I was disrespectful to. Veronica says that was the perfect answer, meaning why was it so easy for Holocaust survivors to get reparations? Because we black, and that's why it's so difficult for us. And I don't even think that needs any explanation. I mean, the reason why that's the case might need some explanation to some people, but I think everybody understands that. If the slave in America was, and as we know it, as was white people, any distinguishable group of white people, they would have got reparations right away. Right away. No questions. Shahira says, you keep reading the wrong dang comments. Yeah, she says, sorry, I got a lot to say when it comes to Kanye. Did I find out if I'm a juridical natural man? What's that the word? I thought it was Jericho. I thought he was saying, like, in Cats. Maybe I looked up the wrong thing. So you just not gonna read it? I've read everything that I saw except for the really long ones. Lewis says, me, that's who. You disrespected me when you disagree with me about black people forgiving whites for slavery. How did I disrespect? Oh, no, I'm serious. I don't know that, and I'm questioning, do you know what it means to be disrespected or disrespectful? Do you understand what that means? Just because I don't agree with you, don't mean I'm being disrespectful. Like, I didn't say, like, Lewis, you a damn fool for believing what you believe. F you, F your mama, F you, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't agree with you. I said, I didn't forgive white people for slavery. How is that being disrespectful? What did I say? That was, and I'm sorry, y'all, but you gotta, look, if you have opinions, like I have opinions, and you probably have them, And you might even have a conversation with someone who doesn't share your opinion. Just the very fact that they don't share your opinion doesn't mean they're being disrespectful to you. Now, their opinion, like in the case of, say, Kanye, all of his anti-black opinions, I think I can look at that and say, that dude seems to be anti-black based on his opinions. And his opinions are disrespectful to black people and to the struggle of those that came before us, those who paved the way for him to be where he is now. I think I can do that. Just judging on his words and actions. But because I don't agree with you, because the person that you're talking to says, well, I don't agree with that, that doesn't mean they're being disrespectful. It just doesn't. If laughing is wrong, I don't want to be right. I believe you don't want to be right. You should want to be right, though. You should want to be right. But I believe that you don't. Kenny says you could be the king of disrespect. Me, never. Ernest says, pretty sure Freddie finds you disrespectful. Well, yeah, Freddie finds me disrespectful because I don't agree with everything Lincoln says. Like, and I never even understood that. Like, yeah, I don't agree with Lincoln, so you're so disrespectful. Like, what? Lewis says, Jewish people didn't forgive them for the Holocaust, but a number of black people have publicly got on the air to say they forgive white people for slavery. I'll be honest, I can't say that that's not true. But I can't ever recall hearing someone actually say out of their own mouth or type it, tweet it, whatever, post it, forgive white people for slavery. I can't say that I've ever seen that. Like, look, we gonna move on, maybe, because y'all ain't gonna do what's right. So we gonna move on. I've kind of heard that, but I've never heard, we forgive you. Who do you know who publicly got on the air and said they forgive white people for slavery? Who is denying black people reparations? The government. The government. The government. The government? Okay. Lewis said, you said my opinion was nonsense. You could have been polite and said you disagree. You use terms like nonsense. Okay. I apologize for saying that your opinions were nonsense. They may have, not made a lot of sense to me, but that doesn't necessarily make them nonsense. So I apologize. Anthony says, do you clearly understand the meaning of words? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you do an imitation of Lincoln doing the Thriller dance? Why was he doing his hands like that? He really thought that was Thriller. Some of y'all don't know what he's talking about. Lincoln was on the air, and he was doing his imitation, apparently, of the dance that they do in the Thriller music video. And the way he was holding his hands was just like super weird. He was doing his hands like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? No one does their hands like this in Thriller. Nobody. It's like, that's Thriller. Like, no, that's not Thriller. Who did their hands like that in Thriller? Nobody. And then he played this little video of the Thriller video. And he was like, look at the hands, look at the hands. I'm like, you look at the hands. No, even the Caucasian dude that was teaching him how to do the Thriller routine was not doing this. Oh, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? I keep naturally disrespecting CK. Let's see. Logic Slayer says, hi. Hi. All right, Lewis said he gonna call in. Lewis says, I'm about to give you the names of people who publicly said they forgive them for slavery. Candace Owens, Clarence Thomas, Herschel Walker, Kanye West, just to name a few. I'll have to look that up. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I'll have to look into it. If you can find me somewhere like a video clip of them saying, I forgive white people for slavery, that would be helpful. Oh boy, let's see. I got a call coming in and I can't. There it is. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
I'm doing good, Key. How about you?
I'm doing good, just hanging in there, just calling, saying hey, just supporting. Was wondering what was going on last week. I don't know if you explained it, like if you couldn't sync up with YouTube, because I watch you on YouTube. So I don't know if you couldn't sync up on YouTube or something last week. Because I know when I was watching Wyatt, he kept saying, like, earlier when I was listening to Emanuel, and I'm like, well, it wasn't coming up on YouTube, so I didn't know if you was having technical difficulties or you didn't know it wasn't syncing.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. And if ever that's the case, if I'm ever on and you don't, well, I guess you wouldn't know if you only watch it on YouTube and I'm not on YouTube, then you would know.
So what I did was when I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday when he said you was on. So what I did was that Thursday I just called this number. I'm like, well, if he on, I'll call the number, and if he answered, then he must be on.
All right. That's a good idea. And if
Yeah.
I'm not on, then yeah, there was some technical difficulties. And I even mentioned I'm not hearing from any of my YouTube people. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we was looking for you last week.
Well, I was here. I think I only did like 2 days last week. So
Yeah, I think Wyatt mentioned mentioned you on Tuesday and Wednesday.
yeah.
I was like, oh, I missed them. And then I went back. I'm like, well, I was on YouTube, and I kept hitting refresh, and I didn't see it. And then I'm like, oh, he must have couldn't sync it, because I know Wyatt was saying he was having trouble. I think some of his YouTube or Facebook had dropped off, and I think he had to reset his system so Facebook and YouTube can come back up or sync back up together.
Yeah, that happens with this restream. Sometimes it's gonna do what it want to do, and then you just got to work with it.
Yep. Well, yeah, your supporters was looking for you.
I appreciate you,
So
kid.
just calling, checking in, and see what's going on. So what's the latest? What topics you got on the mind today?
Talking a little bit about Kanye and whether or not, as black people, can we forgive him and accept him black, because he's trying to use black trauma now to kind of get back in, or right? He know what it feel like to have somebody's knee on his neck now, because he being dropped by all of these people and canceled and all of that kind of stuff. Whereas before, George Floyd died of fentanyl, not from no police having a knee on his neck, and slavery was a choice, and white lives mattered, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because on his perspective, because what I'm saying, he is an artist. Sometimes they take a play on words, and we might not understand it, but it's their logic. So I don't know if he's doing different stuff and taking a play on words because he is, like a so-called lyricist, and you know how they will flip a word, like good mean bad and bad mean good, or something like that, or just try to do an analogy.
Yeah, no,
And,
I don't think he was doing that. I mean, he clearly says that George Floyd he died of fentanyl instead of the knee on his neck. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like how he was saying, talking about how he felt, he can feel now about the knee on the neck or whatever. So like I said, I don't know if he was trying to do an analogy or whatever, but yeah. And then too with the fentanyl and stuff, like I said, I don't know if he's trying to get a certain group of people to like him, and then when that backfired, and the other half of people didn't like him, so it's like it's just a weird kind of scenario to kind of figure out his MO. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because he up, he down, he left, he right. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not. So it's like all over the place. And then
Yes.
too, when they say he has, I guess a confirmed mental illness, who knows? And then it's supposedly he's not taking his medicine. So I have no idea which way is up with him, especially if the way he talks, nobody can get through to him. It seems like he only listens to himself and nobody else or whatever. So who knows? What you think about it?
Look, I say you kind of forfeited, at least from my perspective. I don't have any respect for you. I don't look at you as someone that can stand and represent black people in any way, shape, or form. You're clearly anti-black people. So just go on, let them do whatever. And this is just me. I don't care what they do to Kanye. I don't care what they do to Kanye. I'm not like how I'm not watching the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do anything equivalent to that for Kanye. I would
Right.
just be like, oh well. He could be homeless, and I wouldn't be like, that's a shame what they did to Kanye. I'd be like, oh well, he didn't like black people, so he ain't getting my black support.
Right. Right. It's a weird scenario to be in, especially with his kids. He got them kids and stuff, and who knows? It's just a all outright crazy scenario to be in. And to keep it, it's like he in the news every other day now. So
Yeah.
instead of just going somewhere and just go sit down somewhere or whatever, because it's crazy. But yeah, I was just calling to say hey, and everybody go ahead, subscribe, thumbs it up, hit the notification and all that good stuff, and some more support Emmanuel.
Thank you, Key.
All right, and then too, I heard you were saying something about the shirts. You said you got it, some more ideas. So, is those? Did you figure all those ideas out, or are you still working on the ideas?
I'm still working on it, but after I get this other order out, my shirts is the next thing that I'm working on.
Okay, okay. And so if everybody keep tuning in and get those numbers up and get those subscribers up, and man, you can be on his way to getting monetized. As far as I can see on my end, I don't know what you can see on your end. If you got 400 subscribers, you need 1,000 to sign up to get monetized. So come on, everybody on Facebook, convert over to YouTube and get those numbers up so man, you can get monetized and get these shirts going. And then he on to other new adventures with this podcast or experiment, as he says.
All right. Hey, Key,
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate you and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Key, I appreciate Key. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, back to talking about Lincoln and his thriller. Anthony says he looked like his hands hurt more than his knee does. It was terrible. It was terrible. Myosa's sad that she missed it. It was horrible. It was horrible. Let's see. Myosha also don't apologize with your naturally disrespectful ass. What is wrong with y'all? Maybe I had to talk to somebody and get the afternoon experiment written in Mandarin just for Ron. Because apparently he'll understand what it means. Let's see. Brent, that's right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me see. You're by yourself mad at Kanye. I'm not mad at him. I'm just not. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what happened to him. I just don't. Let's see. His analogy was, I just set my money on fire. How do I put it out? Right. You working on it. No justice, no peace as a Stefan fundraiser. That's a shame that they arrested that brother. I understand. Uh, if they tell you can't have a bullhorn or whatever, I get it. But they didn't have to arrest him. They didn't have to. They could have talked to him a few times. Well, what could they do? If they tell you not to do it and you keep doing it, they don't have no choice. They got a choice. They legit let drunk cops drive home and follow them. They don't arrest them. They got a choice. Oh, wait, what? He got arrested? Yeah, apparently he had his bullhorn at the Board of Elections, and they don't, I guess, allow a bullhorn. So he was arrested for bullhorning in public. And I don't actually know what the charge is, but that's kind of what it comes down to. You bullhorning in public, you under arrest. Apparently he got out, and it ain't no biggie. But, yeah. Let me see. I guess Brent sent something. Brent, are you sending them the video of Lincoln doing his Thriller with his hands like this? He really thought he was doing it too. Lewis says, I don't care. That would be the exact response from Candace Owens if you asked her about slavery. All right. Moon Rays says, same here. I don't give a blank. Kanye. They arrested someone for a bullhorn when those MAGA supporters are showing up with AKs. Yes. And a lot of people, feel like, hey, they didn't have a choice. Now, if that was Kanye, I'd be like, I don't care. But, they could have gave him a break. They give people breaks, especially law enforcement. Law enforcement loves to give law enforcement breaks. Oh, I got this video. It's a video of a guy who pulled a law enforcement official pulling over a young guy. And he eventually ended up arresting the young guy, pepper spraying his daddy, who was across the street, and arrested him too. And I want y'all take on this video. I'll have it, I believe, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will make it my business to have this video. I want y'all thoughts on this. And the reason that I'm going to do this, and I might start doing this a little more often, playing some of these videos of police interactions. I might start doing this more often because I feel like we need to shape our perspective on law enforcement. And I don't feel like videos like these get enough play for people to look at them, because I can almost guarantee when I play this video, a number of you will look at this video and say, the cop didn't do anything wrong. That guy shoulda, or that guy shouldn't have, whatever. And a number of you probably won't look at the law enforcement official and say, he was wrong. And a part of what I want to do is change that mindset. Not to always say that law enforcement is wrong, because they're not. But at least be open to the fact that, you know what, sometimes law enforcement, they make terrible decisions and they should be held accountable. And I know what you're thinking. Emanuel, who don't feel that way? A lot of people. A lot of black people don't feel that way. A lot of black people don't feel that way. So I'm going to do everything in my power to have that video tomorrow. And maybe at least once a week, I'll have a video, even though I could probably do it once a day. But at least once a week, I'll have a video, a police interaction video, and then let's just respond to it. What do we see? How do we feel about it? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start doing that. Janice says, I'm outraged with those MAGAs being armed and masked at the Dropbox locations without any retribution. I mean, and that could easily be considered voter intimidation. Easily. Oh, let me see. Did you see? Even Goodwill said they don't want Ye shoes. Yes, even Goodwill. They said, Goodwill crazy. Goodwill say, look, if you donating stuff, don't donate any Kanye West stuff. We don't want to accept, we will not accept any Kanye West, the Yeezys or Yays or whatever they are. Nothing. We don't know Kanye West stuff. How Goodwill? How you take people's old used stuff that they donate and sell it for money? How you gonna say we don't want no Yays or Yeezys or whatever they are? I don't know. How you gonna say that? Anthony says the Board of Elections people weren't gonna let that fly, E. They wouldn't have had a choice if the police didn't make an arrest. What was they gonna do? Go out there and fight him? If the police would have decided, you know what? They could have just told him, you got to leave, either don't use it or leave. And I'm going to use it. They could have escorted him out and left him, wherever he was in a public spot. I'm telling you, they didn't have to arrest him. Now, look, I'm not saying, no justice, no peace. I'm not necessarily mad that they arrested him. All I'm saying is they had the discretion not to. They chose to, and I'm fine with it. But they did have the discretion. They could have chosen not to, and they didn't. So just don't be fooled into thinking, well, they had to arrest him, because they didn't. That's all I'm saying. They didn't have to. They chose to. There's a difference. Let me see. Keep scrolling. Lewis says, this is a great episode from the Afternoon Experiment. Thank you. Tria says, my mom watches those First Amendment audit videos. You learn a lot. It is voter intimidation. Yeah. Sierra says, the Powlon is hilarious, but I don't care. If it were anybody else, just about, who didn't have this long history of being anti-black, I would be like, they so wrong for what they doing. But I just don't care. He don't like me. He don't like us. So I don't care what happens. I don't care about the power law. I don't care any of that. Did you see the police video where they had this Latina lady hemmed up for having an unopened 40 ounce until a white dude came along and blew up the spot? I did not. McConnell said, just say space shoes. Let me see. Not accepting Ye. I'm going to say Ye. Because his name is Kanye, right? Not accepting Ye stuff, but folks got the Gucci store reservations. All right. Anthony says, don't nobody want no old used stuff, E. Yeah, they do. people in almost every aspect will take old used stuff. Goodwill ain't around for this long for nothing. And then other old used stuff, it's some old people out there doing everything they can to get some old used stuff. Yeah, people want old used stuff. Yeah, I saw that foolishness. Just keep that same energy the next time somebody disrespects our community. They won't. They won't. We got to keep that energy. And that's kind of what bothers me about Kanye, this whole thing with Kanye. Like, we should have canceled Kanye a long time ago. We should have canceled Kanye. But it took him saying something else about somebody else for him to get canceled. We should have been, hold on, did you just say slavery was a choice? Did you? No, for real, did you say that? That should have been it. But, we be all right with it. We let white people say the N-word. We still celebrate Quentin Tarantino. We should have canceled Quentin Tarantino. Ben says, so they cool with Ballon, whatever, because white people love that brand. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It sounds like some overpriced stuff that I can't afford and probably wouldn't want. So, but I genuinely, I don't know what you mean. Walter says, now that's what you call a boycott. If Goodwill don't want your stuff, yeah, Goodwill. Goodwill said we ain't accepting. Like, you giving us stuff. You donating. Like, hold on. Are those some yays? Can't accept those. You take them yays with you or take all your stuff and get out of here. We not taking those. That's what Goodwill say they doing. Ain't nobody taking Yeezys to Goodwill anyway. MF's out here losing their mind because of something that doesn't affect them at all. Oh. Talking about Stefan. Stefan wasn't going to leave. You know better. I don't know. I don't know that to be the case. I mean, I don't know if they talked to him and warned him or not. I genuinely don't know, so I'm not saying that they did. And again, I don't have a big deal about them arresting him. Sometimes people get arrested. Everything ain't the end of the world, and I ain't saying, it's racism or none of that kind of stuff. They arrested him. Okay. I'm just talking to the fact that there were people saying, well, they didn't have a choice. I'm like, nah, they always got a choice. I've legit seen videos where police pull police over for drunk driving. Let the drunk police officer drive himself home. So we'll follow you. You drive yourself home. And didn't arrest him. Didn't cite him. We've seen that. So when you tell me, well, they don't have a choice. They got a choice. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been arrested. Just don't say they didn't have a choice, because they did. Janice says, such a minor offense. Yeah. That's what he get for following Candace Owens. She tricked him. I don't know if she tricked him or not, but Sierra says thrifting is very popular. It is. I've been known to go to the thrift store. You find some decent stuff at the thrift store. So would you take a old piece pie? I'm not sure what that means. Not exactly sure what that means. I feel like you're not black if you don't vote for me was worse than anything. Oh, you got a right to feel that way. I don't feel that way. Zakia is watching. All right. All right, Zakia. How you doing? Hope everything is going good. Kamikia says, I don't buy Balenciaga, whatever, but that brand is the king of fashion trolling. They rip a design off from Skechers and sell them for $1,000. All right. I don't know nothing. I've never even heard of it until they said they wasn't effing with Kanye no more. Anthony, he's big on this Steph thing. I would bet a dime to a nickel. That's not a big, you know, that's not huge. Like if like you really serious about it, ain't it like a dime to a dollar or a nickel to a dollar? Not a dime to a nickel. That's not that risky of a bet. That they asked him nicely. All right. I don't know if they asked him nicely or not. I don't know. I'm not arguing that they shouldn't have arrested him. I'm just arguing or letting you know that they had a choice. They could have not done it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Lonzo says, yeah, white folks stick together all the time. We part-time. That's why Kanye wasn't canceled when he said that BS about slavery. Exactly. Anthony saying I'm a little slow on the draw today. My bad. I don't know what you. Ben says, I know you wouldn't, E-Man. That was a white man who said it. All right. I don't know what that means exactly. Just left the scene of another shooting homicide. 37-year-old black woman. Put the guns down now. All right. That's terrible. Y'all know me. I hate it anytime I hear that really anybody died. And of course, I don't have an answer for gun violence. Of course, I don't have an answer except for you do your part the best that you can do. It feels defeating, even just trying to think about it. It feels defeating to try to even think about what a solution might be. McConnell says, what about these coaches getting killed? I don't know what Lincoln heard. I ain't heard nothing about it. Nothing. But I don't like it. But I mean, again, I don't like nobody getting killed. Iris says overwhelming. But I don't have any ideas. Like I think I'm all out of ideas. Yeah, well, I'll come up with another idea probably in another week. But my ideas be simple stuff. And it would just, if we were all like really invested and people really did, raise your kids, teach your kids not to hurt people and teach them problem solving and anger management and conflict resolution. But some of that stuff is just, yes. If we all learn that, killings would like plummet. But we can't expect to all learn that because number one, we don't all practice it. And I can teach my kids, my grandkid, and those my nieces, my nephews, I can try to teach them all of that kind of stuff. But like I said last week was it? What about my neighbor? Who is, and I'm going to use the term because y'all know what I mean, who's ratchet. What about my neighbor? And they 6 kids. And they teaching them to be ratchet. Let me see. The youth under 15 have had all three of those coaches in their lives at some point. Uh, tu- tu- tu. Lots of people are pretending they don't know why most of these people have been killed. Most aren't random. But to me, the why ain't that. I mean, it is, but it ain't the fact that there is a why. The only why that's acceptable to me is defending my or somebody else's life. But beef, women, even drugs, that's not, I understand it, but that's not, it's not acceptable. How do we get young people to not fall into those same traps? Anybody with that answer could write their own ticket. And again, I think everybody got a piece of something that might help somebody. But when you just look at the sheer number of homicides and stuff like that, when you look at them, just the sheer number of them, you're like, wow. Wow. That's a lot of reaching out. And I'm not saying reaching out is impossible, but who you gonna reach? Angela says, that's the part I find upsetting, the keeping quiet. If those in power and those who have the ear of the people would change the way they use their words, words create. 513-717-5464. CK.
Oh my God, what's up, Emmanuel?
Hey, what's up, CK?
Oh man, it's a great show. You came hard on a Monday experiment, didn't you?
I did.
Man, hey, hey, and I gotta apologize. You was right, man. You was right. I had it because I thought when you said nonsense, you said I took that too personal. You saying you wasn't being disrespectful with the word nonsense.
No.
Yeah, I took it like, man, I was like, damn. I'm like, man, you don't even respect my opinion, but you got to understand the reason why he's able to get away with saying slavery is a choice because he knows black people that will forgive him. He knows that we are the most forgiving people. Like you said, with the Quentin Tarantino, we ain't canceling nothing. We gonna argue each other down. So what solutions can we get to? We not canceling, no. We let them cancel the people for it. They cancel Kanye West for it.
Yeah, but of course, only after he did and or said something that offended them.
Because remember the conversation we had, me and you was talking. I said when he say that them people, you was like, he's not gonna say that. He heard enough of that and challenged people like you. Because a lot of people was getting at him saying, man, you keep on disrespecting black people, I bet you won't say nothing about them. And then he make a whole tweet saying, yeah, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people in the morning. That's where they got him. And then he didn't say DEFCON, he put it DEF with a TH. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now it comes full circle. This one you hit them hard with your point about the Quentin Tarantino movie when they're not using the KKK word, calling them out of their name, but you like, remember you were trying to tell us. And you right. We was arguing you down. No, you need to watch. No, if he can't call them out their name, why should I listen to him call my people out their name? But we can't get together because we are so forgetful. So, of course, there's nothing to forgive Kanye West. as black people.
What?
But if we can listen to, if people could argue you down and go watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, you think it's hard for Kanye West to get back in the black community? How hard is it?
I guess when you look at it like that, but I mean, I don't watch Quentin Tarantino. I don't support Quentin Tarantino. And I won't be supporting Kanye West. Not that I really did before, but I definitely won't now. And I won't speak up on his behalf.
And if we had all the black people was like you and stopped watching the NFL, Kaepernick would have a job. Right?
Maybe.
If we stood tall, like you said, the bus strike, that's the last time we stood together and held hands and made something happen. That's how long you got to go. What's that, 66? 64? That's the last. So you got to understand, of course he could get back in the black community because we don't respect ourselves. The first thing we try to do is tear each other down over opinions. That's the whole point. You can't name. I named all those people that publicly stated they forgive those folks for slavery. You can't name one white person that forgives the Nazis for the Holocaust. Name one. Because they stay on code. That's what being black is about, staying on code. You don't have to agree, but don't say nothing. If you against it, stay out the way. But we want to publicly say each other.
Again, CK, I don't know that those people who you were saying said that they forgive white people for slavery actually said that. But even if they did, you kind of got to look at who those people are.
Black people, that's what they are.
No.
What are they?
You're talking about Candace Owens and Herschel Walker.
She black. He black. They are black people trying to be accepted into the white folk community. But they are black.
I can almost guarantee you there is some Jewish apologist somewhere who has said that they forgive the Nazis for what they did.
That's what I'm saying. You can't even think of them. You could just freestyle the black folks because there's so many people against. There's so many black people against black people. You could just come spitting them out. Machine gun fire. He said slavery is a choice. So you think he ain't forgave white people for slavery? I'm just saying, if people talk like that, how do you think Candace Owens would respond if you asked her? How do you feel about what the white people did to black people for slavery? What would you think her response be, logically speaking?
I don't know. Probably somewhere along the same lines of what the guy named Ben on here would say. That it wasn't that bad, or we brought it on ourselves, or something along those lines.
Yeah, we got black people that is going with that law to get rid of slavery from the history books. You got black people supporting that because they want to be down, like Brandy at 16. They want to be down. And then this is what I don't understand. Why do y'all only care about mental health when it's somebody you care about? Now, when it comes to somebody you don't like, now the mental health go out the window. Why y'all not concerned about Kanye West mental health?
CK, can you do me a small favor?
Yes, sir.
Can you talk like in a normal voice?
I'm talking in a normal voice.
Hold on. Either that or back up from the phone just a little bit.
Okay. No, I'm saying, I'm talking in a normal voice. I'm saying, where is the mental health? Where's the concern? Where is the compassion?
Concern for whose mental health?
Kanye West. Why people, they know he's mentally disturbed. He has mental health issues.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I'm not a mental health expert. What mental health problem, disorder, or whatever, what mental health problem makes you hate or dislike black people? I know apparently Ambien does it, but what mental health issue do we have that the way that you can tell that they have a mental health problem is because they don't like black people?
I think it's the trauma. It could be the trauma. It'd be like, you know how you hear some women be like, I'm through dating black men. I'm not dating. I'm just dating white men. They've been through something
Right,
with a black person,
but that's
so
not
now they,
that's not a mental illness.
you don't think so?
No, that's a decision.
You're being mentally you know that's not you now you're just locking into a certain race just because of something you went through. And when you know in your mind every black person is not like that. But to make yourself feel better about your choices, you want to, blame a whole race for your relationship failure.
Hold on, but what I'm really trying to get to, because I think a lot of people are talking about him having mental health problems as if that having a mental health problem make you not like black people. And to my knowledge, and again, I'm not a mental health professional, but to my knowledge, I don't know what the mental health issue is that the symptoms are they don't like black people. What's the mental health condition that makes you not like black people?
The same.
And if not,
okay.
CK, then you can't blame, at least in my opinion, you can't blame this on, well, he got a mental problem. Maybe he does, but he's making a decision probably separate of that mental problem. He's making a decision about what he believes and what he feels, what he has accepted as fact and true based on the information that's, either been presented to him in the wrong way or whatever. It's not, you don't, I have bipolar disorder. Well, what does bipolar disorder make you hate black people? No, it doesn't.
No, it makes you irrational thinking. I'm saying, okay, the track star that had the mental health issue breakdown a couple years back. What was her name? Remember her? The young lady?
No.
Remember that? But you remember you did a story on the young lady. She had a mental breakdown, and you was using it. You was using her mental health about why she was breaking down. So if she makes what they consider anti-Semitic remarks, the first thing we should say is, well, she said 2 years ago she had mental health issues. If somebody tells you they have mental health issues and then they make irrational statements that the world looks at as, irrational, where is the compassion? If they already told you, listen, I'm dealing with mental illness. This is what Kanye West told us.
Okay.
I'm saying, why don't we have compassion for people when people? I mean, why do we go against people?
Look, if you say so, I don't know what mental illness he's been diagnosed with, but the idea, and I guess the mental illness won't affect everybody the same way, but that sounds like a really good now baked in excuse for anyone accused of racism. I have a mental illness.
Right.
But I don't believe that having a mental illness makes you racist, makes you not like black people, makes you, say slavery was a choice. I don't believe that there's a mental illness that makes you believe that slavery was a choice.
All right, I'm going to give you another good example. Jeffrey Dahmer. This man invited black guys to his house, ate them, cooked them, but because of his crime being so heinous, nobody wants to hear, oh, this guy's crazy. Let's give him the full extent. So I'm just saying, emotionally, it depends on how you feel about the person when mental illness is good for an excuse. But I'm saying Kanye West been saying stuff. What makes his words so powerful? Why do people cling on to him? His words mean no more than yours or mine. I'm saying, why do people look at him like he's the God or he's gonna say stuff just like anybody else, right?
Well, CK, I appreciate your call. I appreciate your call. All right, that's CK. It make a difference just in that, and I didn't really want to bring it up to CK and start something else. People have a hard time accepting celebrities as just people. And people give a lot more weight to things that celebrities do and say. That's why people will excuse things that celebrities do because they're a celebrity. Because for whatever reason, people worship celebrities. So yeah, if a celebrity says it, it has more weight to some people. Because they're more influential. That's just the fact of the matter. Oh, let me see. Kamikia says, mental illness is no excuse for racist or anti-Semitic remarks. I agree. Iris says, internalized depression is what he suffers from. Janice says, Kanye blamed the rumor of him having a mental problem on a Jewish doctor. All right. Shahira says, I answered this already. You ignored it, said it was too long. Well, answer it in the abbreviated form. Let me see. Nate says, one black person does something to a non-black person. Sometimes the non-black person uses that as an excuse to dislike or maybe hate blacks. Kanye believes he has been done by a number of Jews. And that is not a mental illness. It's not a mental illness. Tony likes the background. All right, thank you, sir. All right, y'all, I got to get ready to get out of here. My time is just about up. Just about up. There was something else that I wanted to discuss. And y'all know how this happens. I hate when this happens. I don't remember what it was. But again, tomorrow I want to play a police interaction. A police interaction. And just get your feedback on it. And unlike normal, I'm not going to bash you if you're wrong. How can I be wrong if it's my opinion? Some opinions just be wrong. Some opinions be wrong. But if you're wrong, I won't bash you. I won't bash you. We're going to do this exercise at least once a week. We're going to look at police conduct and determine if it was appropriate or inappropriate, just in your opinion. Because I think we have to, and you think in the black community, it would already be the thing, but we have to get our minds to the point where we can look at law enforcement and say, believe it or not, they can do wrong too. Law enforcement can be wrong. And sometimes law enforcement can be right. I think we pretty good on the law enforcement can be right part. But for some of y'all, it is exceptionally difficult for y'all to accept that, yeah, the police can do wrong. So that's what we gonna work on. That's what we gonna work on. You know you're gonna be naturally disrespectful if we disagree with you. I might not even give my opinion. And the stuff that I'm gonna play really should be like so straightforward. In my mind, everybody should look at it and view it one way. But you always got people who look at it and say, well, but if they would have just so-and-so, then the police wouldn't have this. We just gonna exercise that. Janice says, Kanye is so screwed up. He's trying so hard to uphold the white part of his children's heritage. He's forgotten about his. All right. And again, I'm so offended with Kanye. Talking about he now know what it feel like to have a knee on his neck. To me, that's, hey, I'm black. Hey, y'all, I'm black. They doing this to me. You black, now that it's convenient for you to be black. Now that it's convenient for you to understand all of these things. Because, you think, hey, black people might be able to come to your aid and all of that kind of stuff. If enough black people just speak out against the way they treating me, then maybe some of this stuff will stop. Why don't you go to the white people? Their lives matter to you, not ours. Go to them. Okay, Shahira. I'll read it since I saw it. I wouldn't say it's a mental issue that makes him anti-black. It's more of being addicted to the shock factor he thinks is deep and wise to catch your attention. The crazier, the better. If everyone says the sky is blue, he'll yell it's red. His ego is major, always has been. The more successful he is, the worse he gets. Losing his mom made his mental health spiral more. Maybe, but that's not a mental illness as far as I'm concerned. That's not a mental illness. And that's what people keep saying. Well, he got a mental illness. That's why he says slavery is a choice. He got a mental illness. That's why he say white lives matter. He got a mental illness. I reject that's a mental illness. Yo Underwood wants to know, am I watching the game and can he get a who day? I guess you can if you find somebody who's willing to give you one. I won't be watching the game. But you got a right to watch it. Just if you want to watch it, watch it. Don't worry about whether or not I'm watching it, because I'm not. I'll be watching wrestling. I'll be catching up on the blacklist. I'll be printing some shirts. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'll be watching. Wait a minute. If you believe the FBI, dude broke into Nancy Pelosi's house, threatened to use a hammer to break Nancy's kneecap, hit Nancy's husband in the head with a hammer, and fractured his skull, but cops didn't kill him. Yeah, white lives matter. Kanye saying that craziness was so disrespectful against all families who've actually been abused and killed by police. Our lives haven't mattered to those pink people since we met them. Hell, since they came out of the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. White teenagers go on shooting sprees, but we keep calling it mental illness. Shahira says, I missed the point. You know I missed the point. He's always had a mental illness. When he said President Bush didn't like black people, he had a mental illness, but it spoke to our plight. He just spiraled out of control. I don't know that that's a mental illness. What is the mental illness? Do you watch Atlanta? Never have, no. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I got to get out of here. It is Halloween. It is Halloween. Anybody see the last Halloween movie? I do this and then I got to get out of here. Do this and then I get out of here. Anybody see the last Halloween movie? Halloween Ends. Just thumbs up, thumbs down if you saw it. Was it good or not good? Just good, not good. Just curious. I want to get I didn't care for it. I didn't care. I didn't understand it. I don't want to, spoil it for anybody. But I didn't care for it. And I didn't understand it. Brent said, haven't seen it. McConnell says it was dumb as hell. Thought the show was over. The show would be over in a minute. No, haven't seen it. Crystal says it was in the middle for me. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Ben says Kanye did more for black people than everybody talking about how he feel about black people. What did he do for black people? not for a black person. But what did he do for black people? There's a difference. Didn't I just start? Why am I leaving so soon? I've been on here since what, 3:15. You just now join it. I've been on since 3:15. Janice says she hates Halloween movies, or she hates all scary movies, especially the Halloween ones. This one wasn't really scary. Anthony says after the first couple Halloween went downhill. See, I liked this, like the 2018 one, I thought was pretty good. The Halloween Kills one, I thought was decent. It was decent. It had some issues, but it was decent. This one, McConnell says, y'all ain't missing nothing if you haven't seen it. I agree with you, McConnell. I agree with you. Right, what did Kanye do for black people? Nat says, Michael Myers couldn't catch me. All right. And then last question. I promise I'm leaving, but I started at 3:15, so I'm trying to at least go till 3:15. And in the spirit of Halloween, maybe not in the spirit of Halloween. If there's a spirit of Halloween, I don't want to do anything in that spirit. If you were afraid of any of the slashers in the horror movies, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Pinhead, any of them, which one would you be the most afraid? The most afraid to encounter? And I promise that's the last question. Of all of the slashers, even what the dude, the people, whoever, and Scream, any of the slashers, which one would you be the most afraid to actually encounter? I definitely wouldn't be afraid to encounter Freddy. I control my dreams. I know they did that in one of the movies, but like I for real control my dreams. He couldn't get me with that. Like, oh, I'm dreaming. You want to get high? I'd be like, you ain't tricking me, fool. Let me see. Halloween Ends was very interesting. I've been watching all of them today. So now I'm in Halloween 5. Now, y'all remember she got a daughter. Jamie got a daughter named Jamie. You can forget this last trilogy, forget all the Halloween movies except the very first one. None of the other ones matter. Kenneth Jones says Freddy Krueger. Why? Which one and why? Brent says Freddie Jackson. What? You afraid of Freddie Jackson catching you in your dreams? I'm a little afraid of Freddie Jackson catching me in my dreams too. Oh my goodness, that was funnier than it should have been. McConnell says Jason. Why? Why Jason? Nat says Pinhead. Anthony also says Pinhead. He'll kill you slowly. Crystal says Freddy because he can come at you in your sleep. All right, so you're not, what do they call it, a vivid or lucid dreamer? All right. Terry says Pinhead. I never really got much into what was that, Hellraiser? The Hellraiser movies. I'll be scared of that mortuary guy. Who? Jason be everywhere and walking 2 miles an hour. Okay. How she go from having a son to suddenly having a daughter? She had a son in H2O. Come on, McConnell, you know, you watched them. This last trilogy just picks up after the first movie. All the other movies don't count. They ignored all that. They just threw it out. Trash can is afraid of Freddie Mercury. Oh. Not everyone has the ability to summon screaming ghosts in their dreams like you do. But you scared of Freddie Jackson. In your mind, what is Freddie Jackson gonna do to you in your dreams? Oh. Oh boy. Chucky, or just a child up walking in the dark when I get up and go to the bathroom. Shaba say, be afraid of those real life white teenagers doing mass shootings. Oh, so do you think that Freddie Jackson gonna sing you to death? Oh my goodness, he's afraid of Freddie Jackson. Coming to him in his dreams. Oh, all right, y'all. I got to get out of here. Get that little baby together so she can go home. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And that said, I would have beat Chucky's ass though. That's funny. Why is he scared of Freddie Jackson? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Oh. All right, y'all. I had to get out of here. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Have a safe Halloween if you got kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, little cousins, somebody that you're taking out. Have fun with them, but definitely be safe. All right? Watch for cars, all that good stuff. And tell, if you got like older kids that you allow them to go out by themselves, tell them to be safe. Look both ways. All that kind of stuff. Check the kids' candy. Don't let them check it. Check the kids' candy. Because it's 2022 and there's crazy people out there probably doing bad stuff to candy. So definitely do that. Other than that, I hope what costume did the little baby wear? Oh, I don't know. Her daddy takes her out. He'll send me a picture. I have no idea what they're going to dress her up as. And I'm always excited to see. So enjoy the evening. Have an amazing Halloween. And I hope something truly amazing happens that changes your life today. All right? Till next time, it's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.